Right, so now that the interior stuff is mostly done, now we're moving on to the front end of this thing. The goal has been to paint match the whole front of this thing since I got it, and do some of the Morimoto like aftermarket headlights. But as you can see, we just have the stock headlights in here right now. So kind of interesting thing that happened with the giveaway. So project build giveaway number 18, which was the 2018 F-250 right here that we had the 2020 front conversion on. So you can see these headlights right here. These are actually the same exact ones that I would like to put on the front. And the winner of the truck decided to take the cash option. So he lived in California and he was going out to college, and pretty much decided that it was best for him to just take the cash instead of trying to figure out how to come out here, get it to California, get it registered, do all that type of stuff, and then potentially sell it. He has a Mustang that he just recently got in a car accident with, so he was looking at rebuilding that, and basically wants to take the money that you know, from this. So I already sent him all the money. He's all paid up on that, and I went ahead and I listed the truck for sale. So I've actually had a lot of out-of-state interest in it, and was kind of working a deal with a guy, and turns out he basically had everything approved from his bank, but he just wasn't able to get the amount that we initially kind of agreed on. So I was able to kind of wiggle with him a little bit on the price. And so I kind of came down, and what we did is I told him I wanted to keep the headlights so I could put them in my 450, which makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull headlights out of here and put those headlights in here. Those ones are super, super clean, have LED bulbs and all that other stuff, and I don't think it's gonna make the truck look bad. I think it's gonna look super good still, but excited to have these ones in the 450 with the lights. So I'm gonna go ahead, pull these lights out of this thing, and just do the quick little swaparoo, and then I'm actually meeting him at the airport here in about an hour and a half. So hopefully he's stoked about the truck. At least somebody's stoked about the truck. So I guess let's get to working. All right, so we drove the 450 to the shop, got the lights installed the other day, and man, they look really good. I love it with the C lamp. I feel like these trucks, they just need it. So eventually the plan is to paint match the front of this thing, but we drove it to the shop today because we have some more upgrades for it. Namely being these mirrors right here. Every time you go tow, this truck is XLT, but it's not the XLT Premium. And on a lot of like the Lariat trucks, they have power and extend mirrors. So if you want to get out and tow, you know, you gotta freaking extend these things. And then if you want to drive somewhere, you gotta fold them in, you know, which, like, who's got time for that? Also, we got these running boards. That's kind of one of the things that it just kind of doesn't really spice up the truck. So we have a little bit of a solution for that today that we're going to get installed. But before we do that, we got to pull it in the shop. In the shop, and as you've seen, I had to manually fold in the mirror because this is, I think it's only like an 8-foot garage door, or maybe a 9-foot garage door. Just a little bit close, a little bit too close for comfort, and it will not drive in without at least one of the mirrors being folded in. And on the last truck, we actually had the option for the power extend and power fold, and that is one of the things that I really miss. And upgrading these trucks, as you've seen with the interior and all that stuff, it takes a lot of work to get like some of the factory OEM options and everything to work. So Boost Auto Parts actually has these mirrors that have all of the factory options, and it has a wireless, basically like a Bluetooth controller that will actually work with my factory button in here, which will allow us to do power extend, power fold. It will also keep the lane keep assist. So this thing has the little, not the lane keep, it has the bliss. So the blind spot monitoring system right there, it'll keep that, as well as some different corners. And we have the paint match option on the top as well, which I already went ahead and got those painted yesterday. The next thing that we're going to do as soon as we get done with that is these powered running boards, which I'm really excited about, because as you can see right here, you have these factory, these are the XLT ones. This thing didn't have the chrome package, so these are the blacked out running boards. They're not bad, but I feel like the truck just doesn't look that nice. And these running boards actually have some really, really cool features. These are the Lumasteps, so it actually has a LED strip that goes all the way down the side, and it actually integrates with your blinker, which I'm super stoked about, and we'll talk about that here a little bit. We'll talk about that here in a minute too, because I'm really stoked about that too. Nothing to it but to do it. We're gonna freaking pull off the mirrors, stick on the paint match caps that we did yesterday, spice this thing up with the running boards. One of the next things we're gonna do, as well as the mirror upgrade, is to replace these door panels. Since this truck was more of the base model that had the grayish, tannish door panels, and since we already did the black leather interior, time to do the door panels. So I have those right here in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and get those. Oh my goodness. Since I have those door panels right here in the back, we'll go ahead and get those installed as well. So black door panels, black interior, and basically upgrading the mirrors into a Lariat XLT premium type of situation, which is just, that's just nice. That's the whole point of this whole build, so pretty stoked. Got this mirror unboxed right here for the driver's side. This thing just feels super, super heavy duty. One of the other things that we did is we upgraded to the puddle lights, as well as the sequential smoked turn signal. So you can see right here, we have that guy. This one is kind of white and you know, it doesn't look that good, as well as the black caps on the mirrors. And we already went ahead and put this one on the passenger side, so you could just see the difference with the painted caps as well as the sequential right there. So almost done with the door panel installation, and I ended up switching out the wiring. So you can see this is the factory door module and harness and everything that was in the XLT. But you can see right here, this thing only has one plug, and that is for the basically the window switch. So since this is a Lariat door panel, obviously it has the settings right here. So, you know, the settings for the seat. We weren't able to get any of that stuff to work when we did the interior swap because we stuck with this wiring harness for this cab. So the heated and cooled seats don't work, you know, just a couple little things like that. I had to run power to the driver's seat and the passenger seat, basically just to get the 10-way. But there is an issue with this thing right here. So the lock and unlock button on the old door panel, it's like a little 3-wire thing, whereas on this, it is like a 6-wire thing. And you can fix that, you can do some other stuff. But I figured I had already had the wiring harnesses for these door panels and the updated doors because I was going to do the whole keyless entry thing. We weren't able to get that to work. I had the wiring harness for it. And so essentially what we were able to do is get all of this stuff to work. So look at that. We got power extend, and then my favorite part, power fold on the OEM switch. If I didn't do this whole swap right here with this harness, I would have had to use the Boost Auto wireless control module, which essentially it does a little jumper harness in between here, and it adds the additional wires and it comes up with everything, and you essentially do like a little keypad. You do a couple different things on the keypad to get the power extend and power fold to work. Since I had to switch this door harness out anyhow for this door panel to match this thing, all the OEM stuff just plugs in and works. That's how I did it, but if you did have a base model truck and you wanted to do the power extend, power fold, and you didn't want to do the whole interior harness swap, that is where the Boost Auto conversion harness and the module comes in. So stoked that we were able to get all this stuff to work, but again, it does complicate a lot of stuff with having to switch harnesses and do all that. So Yeah, and see, even the switch, you have to have the switch, because this one obviously doesn't have the button right here for the power fold, and it doesn't have the button on the top for the power extend. And then you can see right here, this one has the additional thing in the front, which we gained all of that wiring. What if we didn't, we wouldn't have had any of the wiring. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this door panel bolted back on and then get it all cleaned up. Eric is working on some stuff in the front, basically running the wiring harnesses for the steps. So one thing that I noticed as soon as we took these things out of the box was just how heavy duty. Like, that is a solid piece of metal right there. The bracketry, everything feels super sweet. And with these steps, these are the Lumasteps, so they actually have that little LED strip that goes down the side. So not only are they power, you know, extending going down below the truck, they actually have a LED strip, which is going to be really sweet because it's actually going to match the sequential on the headlight right there in the mirror, as well as go sequentially down the side with a turn signal. So the F-450 is definitely getting spicy, and I'm really stoked. I absolutely love how the paint match cap looks, as well as the smoked light on the side, and it just pairs. It's cool because with the Morimoto lights, the sequential on that matches that perfectly, and I know it's going to match the step going down the side, so it's going to be pretty cool. So as you can see, Eric is already working on pulling the things out, the factory step on the bottom, and as soon as that's out, then we should be able to plug into some stuff. One thing about the Boost Auto stuff is they had a really good technical installation guide that was just basically a full step-by-step YouTube video, to where if you've never even done anything like this with some basic hand tools, you could literally do it in your garage or your driveway. As long as you're just sitting there on your phone watching it, step by step as you go, you're not gonna mess anything up. So that's exactly what Eric has been doing while I've been kind of jacking around with his door panel. So yeah, we're making some progress. All right, go ahead. That's beautiful.
Reinstall the bolts for your specific headlight. On 2017 to 29 bolts to reinstall. Roll in to engage all the clips. There are 2 nuts threaded to the plastic cover for reinstallation. We'll go over those next. If you have a 2017 to 2019 Super Duty, please skip the next section. Over to the driver's side where we ran the straighten out metal piece through.
Okay.
For our Lumastep M2 installers who option for our
So I went ahead and hooked up the wiring to the OBD2 connector in the back, and that's essentially how it knows to, you know, open the steps, drop the steps, do whatever. So Eric is on this side of the truck installing it, but look at that, we got the little bit of a preview of the blinker. This is so sweet. So we got the sequential turn signal, sequential in the mirror, and then now we got freaking sequential down the side of this thing, which is just freaking sweet. Because one of my biggest complaints with driving a big truck like this, especially when you're towing, is people just do not let you over. Like, let's say you're getting ready to mix your exit and you're like, all right, blinkers on, your blinkers on, been on for a quarter of a mile. The person right next to you is just driving, they don't see nothing, which, you know, why would they? Because your blinkers in the front, blinkers right there, if they're right here, they can't see that. Whereas right now, you got a big giant blinker on the side of your truck. It's like, hey buddy, I'm freaking coming over. And that was also one of my complaints, and one of the things I wanted to do on my trailer was actually put a big blinker like this, a sequential blinker down the side of the trailer, like right above the wheels and tires, above the axle. So that way, same thing. So maybe we'll work on that. How sick would that be to have full sequential on just everything? So Eric's getting this one installed on this side, all the wiring and everything. Pretty straightforward. Again, the video helped out. Just, I mean, you really can't do it without the video, other than, you know, if you had like a nice printed out instruction, but it just made sense. So all the wiring worked out really good. Got all that stuff right here. This is the kind of control board for it. Got that zip tied up in the setup. I also got the option for rock lights. So in the future, if we want to do like a full rock light setup under this thing, everything is already wired for that and ready to go. So pretty stoked. The rears, they basically just go in like that. They have like some little roller things. And then in the front, I don't know, Eric, are you still underneath there? Is that door still open over there?
I think it's like cracked open.
I just don't want to close this one and, okay.
It's good now. There it goes.
Okay, and then watch this. There she goes. So she tucks right in. And then on this side, this one ready to go?
Just need to tighten it. I think it's just loose.
Oh yeah, look at that. So now we have, not only do we have the lights right here, we have the puddle lights, which my last, the OEM mirrors didn't have puddle lights. Now we have this whole light down the side of the truck. So when you get out of the truck at night, maybe there's a puddle there and you didn't see it and you get a little splash. So now we got the lights. I'm freaking stoked. This is so sweet. So especially now we got the door panels, power extend, power fold. We got power extend things on the truck. I'm stoked. All right. So as far as I know, everything is all good to go. So you just pop the door open, bam. There she goes. She's sticking out. There they go, tucking right back in. So as you can see, we have like kind of the amber daytime running light sort of situation right there. And then as soon as you go and you whack on the four ways, I just love this. So we got sequential, sequential, and sequential. That is freaking cool. Super, super stoked. If you guys are interested in a set of these things, I will put the link in the description. Again, just super appreciative for Boost Auto for being willing to work with me on these things, because these steps literally just came out. I probably got one of the first steps that are sent out to the public for the Super Duty. So super stoked on how they look. They're gonna know. They're gonna know I'm turning, right? If you don't know that I'm turning, you're gonna know I'm turning, because I'm turning. So. All right guys, how sweet is that? So stoked, so appreciative of Boost Auto. If you guys haven't, checked them out. If you guys have a Super Duty, they have a lot of stuff that you have: Ford, Dodge, Ram, ton of things on their website. Be sure to check it out. Again, link in the description, but I just love it. Puddle lights work, all that stuff. So as soon as you open the door, these guys turn on. We have all the lights, so I could assure you I'm not gonna be stepping in any puddles, at least not on accident. But all right, so backing out of the shop. You can see we're making it out alive, but right here, look at that. Gonna whack that thing, so just give it the nice fold. We're good to go. Appreciate you guys watching this video. See you guys in the next one.